my name is Ruffle Bunny, and today I am going to be drawing one character from the Amazing Digital Circus, specifically Pomni, and I'll be yapping about episode 5 and how much I love it so much. I mean, giving commentary on the piece. And episode 5, hee hee. Okay, let's be real here. Episode 5, in my opinion, is the best so far, mainly because of, wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. So before I become the Yap Lord of the Century, let's get to sketching. I will note that this might be formatted a little bit differently from my usual videos, just because I'll be giving more commentary on the episode, not too much on the piece. So just heads up for that. With that out of the way, let's get to it. Now first, I start with the sketch. I decided to draw Pomni in this pose holding a flip phone because, well, I don't know. Why not? It just seemed like a fun idea, and since I've never drawn her before, I did a few practice sketches to get a feel for the character. The only problem I had was that Pomni felt too anime kawaii in this piece. And this is a problem because when I draw a character, I like to keep them in character, but I didn't mind too much because this drawing was just for fun. Now that I'm done outlining the body, I'll fill in the base colors. Now at this point, we're done adding base colors, so let's cut to the chase. Hee hee. Episode 5. Dun dun dun. Okay, so at this point, I don't really have a script, so I'm just gonna start yapping. Episode 5 is my favorite episode so far because it had like the most character interactions out of all the episodes so far. I think that's why I liked episode 4 so much, because like there was more. Well, like, they'll be together, but they won't really be, like, interacting with each other. You know, like, they'll have a job to do. Literally, like, episode 4 was the most grounded. But that's besides the point. Let's talk about Ragatha and Jax, because I feel like those two, they got way more screen time in this episode, like, including Zubul, but they're the main focus, because we got to know a little more about them. Now, Ragatha, I like her character a lot, because I know people say that she has toxic positivity, but I don't think... They forget to mention that it's not bad to be positive because it's leaving a good impact on others. I don't think the way she's acting is the best way to approach being positive towards others, but I do think that it is still leaving a good impact on people. Like for instance, Gangle she was able to do good in the baseball game because in the previous episode, Ragatha literally taught her how to do it. So it does have a good impact on people. It's just the way that Ragatha approaches some situations with it is not a good way. But I like how her and Jax are actually similar. Like, now getting to Jax. Jax, I'm glad we got to know more about him because, like, he had a frog friend. I think I heard his name was called Ribbit, which actually is kind of cute. Like, Ribbit, that's actually a cute name. And it's implied that he abstracted. And I feel like that might have shaped the way he is. That sounds kind of interesting. Like, honestly, I'm gonna be real here. I actually did not like Jax when we first got when the series first started, because I did not like how much of an a-hole he is to literally the other cast for no good reason. Like, everyone is already stuck in this circus, and the icing of the cake is just you ruining their day, but whatever. But clearly there's more. I knew that there would always be more going on, but honestly, I just never liked him from the start because I didn't like how rude he was. Don't get me wrong, I still sometimes laughed at his antics, but not all the time because, like I said, he was pretty annoying. Okay, but the real meat on the table, well, actually, he's vegetarian. I'm just joking. But the real meat is that he seems to actually, be able to communicate with Pomni, which I found that pretty interesting because, like, him and Pomni actually got along pretty well, which, I mean, I can see that because, honestly, it's not hard for Pomni to get along with people because she's very empathetic towards others. Like with Gummigoo, she listened to his problems. With Gangle, she sat down to listen, even though it was like a repetitive format. But the point is, Pomni's a very empathetic person, and she actually got along with Jax with like talking with him. So I feel like that was cool, and I liked their dynamic. Like when Jax is not being an a-hole, he can actually be really nice. He seems like he can actually be really nice to hang out with. Like the scene where they were stargazing, that was really nice, where they were just talking to each other, and Pomni mentioned that he didn't have a tail. Although, even though she did mention that he didn't have a tail, what I was interested about was that he was like so freaked out about it. I found it funny, but like, boy, why'd you think you had a tail? But that also brings up another question. Like, did he actually have a tail before? Because you gotta really question these things, people. Like, we can't take these things for granted. Maybe he actually did have a tail in the past, but I know like people were saying that, ooh, Jax is an NPC, but apparently I saw a comment and it said something like, the creators confirmed that he's actually not an NPC, so I guess that's out of the bucket. But honestly, I really like how Jax and Jax and Ragatha see each other. Excuse background noises. I was moving my foot. I like how, I think I mentioned this earlier, but they're two sides of the same coin. Like Ragatha, she forces herself to feel feelings like happiness, specifically happiness, in situations where she's not the most comfortable, like when she was confronting Pomni about leaving her behind in the circus. Even though she was really sad about her just leaving her behind and rejecting her, she pushed it away. I could tell that she really wanted an apology from her, but she didn't say anything. I think she's the type of person who really likes gratitude. I mean, not gratitude, sorry. She's the type of person who really wants validation, yes. But Jax, he faces his problems by pushing everyone away. And this in itself is shown as an example in like that scene where he's like, Ragatha tells her story and then everyone like looks at her weirdly because, you know, actually we'll get to her story later. But he, after like the shot pans on him looking away after Ragatha said that, and he looks like really sad. So I feel like that's a good example of like him pushing his feelings away, you know? Both of their coping mechanisms are very unhealthy because you shouldn't force yourself to be happy or push other people away just because you don't want to show your true feelings. You, like, through Pomni, I think they're able to talk about these things. Like, Pomni, like, Ragatha literally yelled at Pomni being like, yeah, you told me to be a jerk sometimes. And Pomni is able to recognize this, and she's like, because Ragatha is like, yeah, I'm sorry, I should not have said that. And then Pomni's like, well, dude, it's fine. And since Ragatha apologized, like, Pomni knows Ragatha enough to be able to understand that, hey, this is a flunk up, you're not usually like this, you just needed to get some steam off. Like, it was awkward, but she was able to recognize that. And they were able to talk like right after the whole ordeal. So That's the power of friendship. That's such a weird thing to say. That's the power of friendship. But no, really, that is the power of friendship. Like, that's the strength of it. No matter what comes in between, you guys will always be able to reconcile in the end. It doesn't matter if this one thing happened before, because you guys can work it out. You know what type of person this is, so you shouldn't let this ruin your entire friendship. And that's what I like. See, that's why Pomni is such a good character, because she's so empathetic towards people. And she tries to understand them and stuff. Phew! That was a lot. But I really enjoyed our discussion, and I'm happy if you stuck around. Sorry if my rambling was boring. I'll get back to normal formatted video stuff soon. But with that out of the way, let's get to the final showcase. Thank you so much for sticking around for the final reveal, and my socials will be linked in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you later! Woohoo!